heart-stopping video of a man charging at officers with a knife and a table leg.
As you heard, those officers shot that suspect, killing him.
That's right, Harry Boomer, with what led up to those officers opening fire.
This is a first-hand look at what the US Marshals Violent Fugitive Task Force saw last Thursday. They were trying to serve an arrest warrant on 34-year-old Derek Smith. He refused to surrender. In this body cam, you can see and hear them tase him twice. Smith was forced down a hallway inside the Lorain home. Police say he had a knife and stabbed a marshal 3 times in the back of his neck. The video then shows Smith pick up a table leg and began swinging it at the marshals, hitting a couple of them. Seconds later, one of them shot the 34-year-old. The horrifying chain of events took less than 20 seconds.
You still ain't came out that room?
No, ma'am.
Watch part of it again, this time in slow motion. It appears to show Smith stabbing the marshal. He then retreated into a second-floor bedroom, and the fight continued until the fatal shots. In the end, 2 of the officers did sustain serious but non-life-threatening injuries. They retreated and released from Mercy Medical Hospital in Lorain. Aid was given to Smith, but he did not survive. Lorain police say no more information until their investigation is complete. There is no timetable for that. When they let us know, we will let you know. In Lorain County, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.